Boom. So, gentlemen and ladies, welcome. This is the voice of Dr. Joliben. And you all are welcome to Joliben Fish Academy. And in this video, we are going to be discussing, a proposed farm for a client based abroad. A proposed 16,000 capacity tarpolin fish farm. And that will be done in Edo State, Nigeria. Okay? But if you're joining this channel for the first time, please subscribe to our channel, like our video, and as well try as much as you can to share our video. Get to us, reach out with us. Any contribution at all you have, feel free to make that on the comment section and it will surely get to us and we will definitely reply you. Okay, so this is a proposed 16,000 capacity farm, purely tarpaulin ponds. Okay, all true. Of course, our head office is in Ohora Junction, Benin City. Now that takes us straight to the design. Boom. All right, that's clear enough. So basically, sir, this is the proposed 16,000 3D design of the fish farm you have requested for. Okay, so from what I have noticed the last time I got to site, there was already an existing roof, right? So the existing roof is exactly what you see here already. Now the ponds you see actually spilling over were deliberately made, right? I deliberately made it so that I can explain what is expected from this fish farm. So first, the farm is going to be made up of 16 ponds. Each of them, you have a total of 8 ponds on the left, 8 ponds on the right, all of them under the shade. Okay, so it's not going to be like this that some are spilling out of the shade. It's deliberately made for easy view and easy understanding. By the time all of them are under the shade, it may be very difficult to explain certain things I want to do. So I made the 3-dimensional design to just look like this. Okay, all right, so very briefly, the first side of the pond, let me call it the right side of the pond now, of the farm now, is going to be made up of 8 ponds, and each of the ponds are going to be lapping each other just like you see them on screen now. But mind you, I didn't make use of spaces in between the ponds. Okay, that's because of my design. But however, on site we are going to give it 2 feet difference. That is to say, the space between pond A and pond B is going to be 2 feet, right? And the difference between this pond and this pond will also be 2 feet approximately. So you're going to have 2 feet between each of these ponds as you can go around each pond. The reason for that is for flexibility, for movement, and then as well for maintenance of the ponds. Okay, when the fish attendant will be making use of the farm, there will be need to walk around and maintain the pond, clean the ponds, go into the ponds, harvest fish, do sorting, and many other things that will come. So that flexibility, that room for space is very, very important. So the distance between this pond and this pond, 2 feet, 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 this and this 2, this and this 2, this and this, as well as 2 feet. Let me zoom that a little so that you get it clearer. All right, so this is a pond on its own. Okay, I just have to put those fish there to demonstrate it better. So you have each of these ponds here, 2 feet in between. Now, what is the dimension of each of the ponds? Each of these ponds are going to be 7 feet by 14, right? Exactly 7 feet by 14, 7 by 14, 7 by 14, which is also almost equivalent to 1,000 capacity. If you want to get the exact capacity, it's about 980 capacity, which is approximately 1,000 capacity, as the case may be. So, and each of these ponds are going to be connected in such a way that they share a common output. Now, if you look at these pipes, you see these pipes are not going to be like this. I had to design them this way so that I can explain. Now, this pipe connects to this pond, this one connects to that, this one connects to that, while you have a central one that picks all the waste and connects to return to earth system, right? Now, the inlet pipes will also be designed in such a way that each of these ponds are being fed from one line. In other words, the outside part of the farm is going to have an inlet into this pond an inlet into this pond, an inlet into this pond, an inlet into this pond. In fact, I'm more tempted to actually design this farm in such a way that you will have these 2 ponds arranged in a horizontal way instead of being vertical. I think putting them horizontally will be more cost efficient. More cost efficient in the sense that if we have these ponds arranged horizontally, we can have one inlet here for one inlet, one inlet, one inlet, right? And you now have a total of 8 ponds arranged in this way, but this time around they are now in rows instead of in column as it is right here. So I think that makes it even more efficient. And then you now have each outlet coming out, about 8 outlets from this side, 8 outlets from the other side, then coming out, dug into the ground and connected to the return to earth system. If however the wastewater wants to be used for irrigation purpose, because I remember you did mention that you want to channel the water to a particular part of the entire farm for irrigation purpose, so we may have a challenge of gravity, but the image you sent me last shows that the farm is already at least a foot plus above ground level. So a foot plus above ground level can give us some kind of amount of gravity to leverage on to be able to share depending on the location where it is going, right? So that settles the waste pipes and the inlet pipes. Now the space between the left and the right hand side is going to be 4 feet, which is the space from here. The roof here is covering a lot of things, but I believe you understand me very well, sir. But just in case anything is not clear, feel free to let me know and I will explain that in details. So the space between this pond is going to be 4 feet. Now all these outlets you see here will not be here, okay? This is just design misdemeanor. All these outlets you see here in between the ponds will not be here. Everything will be on the left hand side. And the same thing at the front here, you won't see any of this at the front. Everything will be on the right hand side for it to be very neat, buried under the ground, and you will just not notice that there are pipes running left, right and center. And then the size of the farm is, okay, actually this is not the edited one. Let me go back to the edited one. The size of the farm is actually beautiful. This is the size of the farm here. The size of the farm is approximately 70 by 40 feet. 70 by 40 feet. And of course the project location is here in Edo State, Nigeria. Okay, so basically this is an overview of what you're expecting. We have chosen blue color for you, though you have the right to choose any color at all. Any color at all you want for your tarpaulin ponds. We can as well play with that and give you exactly what you need. Any color at all. So, but as you have a total overview of what you're expecting from us, it is also very important I draw your attention to the fact that stocking the farm to capacity at the inception stage is usually not advisable, okay? So just like we discussed last time off camera, you can start small to grow big. You can start with 2 ponds, 3 ponds, 4 ponds, 5 ponds, depending on what you want, and grow and meet up with the other spaces that the farm will be. If the finance is there, you can actually design your fish farm to capacity, and then you now start with maybe 4,000 fish or 2,000 fish, train them. When you're done training them, you have the experience, you move over to the next stage, you double it like that until you fill your farm to maximum capacity. However, one thing is sure, we are always going to be available for consultancy because we are the ones setting this farm for you. So Jellyben Fish Academy will always be there for consultancy, and then also be there in cases where there is need for us to come and arrest an epidemic that may strike your farm. Okay, one thing with fish farming is that water must be constantly changed, and that reminds me, borehole. There is need for a borehole that can power this farm when it gets to maximum capacity. Oh yes, there should be a borehole for it, and I believe we discussed that last time as well. There should be a borehole that will, manage this farm, because we're talking about 16,000 liters of water. So it's not for the weak. And then also the return to earth system when the farm is at maximum capacity should also be taken into very high consideration, because the volume of the water that will be coming out from here when you are maximizing the use of this farm is about 16,000 liters of water, and the 16,000 liters of water needs to escape properly, and the best way is returning it to earth, right? But at the inceptional stage, when you are using maybe 2 or 3 ponds, you can actually decide to, waste the water around, and there will be little or no effect on that. Usually when the fish are still at the very much beginning, the water don't smell, the water is clean, and you are still expected to always change it even though the water looks clean, because they are very young, they are very sensitive, and any little change in pH can affect their health and possibly lead to death when care is not taken. Okay, so basically that is that. We can start with a total of 16 ponds. We can as well start with a total of 10 ponds. We can as well start with a total of 5 ponds. We can as well start with a total of 2 ponds, right? But the capacity we are to start with is solely for you to determine and make it happen, right? Then I will advise that we start with 4 ponds, if you ask me, because of the shape of the design right now. So we are going to be having 2 ponds on the left, 2 ponds on the right. So those 2 ponds can be connected properly and giving room for subsequent ponds to come from the back as the fish farm grows. I think that will go a long way to make the design easier. 2 on this side, 2 on this side. And I remember vividly the dimensions for the right hand side is 18 feet by 15 feet 7 inches. So the 15 feet 7 inches can accommodate 2 ponds of 7 by 14, and then also on this side can accommodate 2 ponds of 7 by 14. So if the first tranche of the farm is already occupied, we can channel those 2 wherever you want to channel it to, and then as we are building more capacity as time goes on, we can now use that to build the other ones at the back as it extends. Okay, so basically this is the overview of the project we have for you, and we hope to hear from you as soon as you watch this proposal. Without forgetting, I'm going to send you a copy of this proposal to your WhatsApp so that you can have an idea of how it looks like in detail, and you should also be able to digest the content you have from within. Okay, thank you for watching and hope to hear from you shortly. And for you viewers out there watching this proposal, if you have any addition at all to make this proposal a better one, feel free to do that on the comment section below, and we'll be very, very glad to receive that from you. And of course, you can also get in touch with us through our WhatsApp line that is published on the screen, and trust me, we can always reply your messages anytime, any day. We are not just out to install fish farms and get it kickstarted for people. We also have ovens that we construct that can help you process your fish. Standard, worldwide recognized oven, stainless steel. When you process your product through these ovens, be rest assured that your products can travel outside the 4 walls of Nigeria, get approval from the right certification, and you can export your products even anywhere in the world, because you are using stainless steel materials. Then also, apart from that, we are into setting up of buildings, especially for areas where there is no farmhouse, in fact, it's a virgin land. We can arrange everything for you and put it just the way you want it to be able to function, right? So this can also be a very good opportunity for our siblings, our brothers, our friends in diaspora planning to return to Nigeria and find something doing. This is just the beginning of what we can do. If you go through our channel, you are still going to see as many other things as possible. Thanks for watching once again. This is Dr. Joliben Fish Academy. Boom.